Yep.
Can I drive the car barefoot?
Legally, you can. It's really what type. I'd prefer that you had some footwear on, just because I think you've got a better sense of the controls that you're using, either be the brake or the accelerator. But no, it's not illegal to have bare feet when driving in New Zealand.
What about, is it legal or illegal to wear jandals? Because I feel like jandals are a hazard. Because what if they come off when you're driving and then they get stuck under the accelerator pedal or the brake pedal and you can't push them down?
Look, again, it's been sensible. There's nothing illegal about it, but there's also nothing illegal about having a drink bottle or a can sitting in the well that could get stuck under there as well. A little bit of
Ooh.
common sense when you're driving and a little bit of awareness of those hazards, and everybody would be safer. But again, summertime, we love our jandals. It's not illegal to do so, but give it some thought about what will happen if they get a bit bent or get stuck with it under the accelerator.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well then let's go to a few other urban myths then. One that I heard when I was a kid was regarding the little light, that sits maybe between the rear vision mirror or a little bit further on the roof there. I once was told that if you turn it on while driving, that's illegal.
Yeah, my mum literally said that to me. Turn it off. You're breaking the law.
No, I think that, hey, I'm old enough to remember when I got told to turn off all the broom lights. and, and I think that's just an extension of it.
Ah.
It's not illegal. And if you think about it, we have actually big bright driving lights on modern cars so people can see us.
Sure.
So the concept of actually having a small interior light blinding somebody, maybe it's just depending on at night, some people may get some reflection off the windscreen, which is why they don't like it. But no, during the day, it is not illegal to have your interior light shining.
Okay.
Okay, here's another one. Is it illegal or should it be illegal to actually eat and drink in the car? Like you've gone through a drive-through.
That's a good one.
You've got
Mince
your
and cheese
Maccas,
pie.
you've got your Big Mac that's disassembling on your front lap as you take a bite. The burger's falling on your lap, but you're driving at the same time. I've seen it done before. I'll put my hand up and say I'm definitely guilty of this. What do you think about this?
Not illegal, but think about what that hot cheese and mince pie's got to look like in your lap if it kind of falls through. So that's the distraction part. That's one of the things about driving. When you're eating, you really concentrate on the job you're doing. You've got one hand holding the food. Hopefully it's only one, not two. You're then trying to eat it, keep your head up, looking at the traffic's going.
Yep.
I would imagine that it's actually, it's a hazard. It's not illegal, but it's a distraction, and all distractions have that potential for causing accidents.
All right. Well, look, that's answered a few of our urban myths then this morning, Terry. But when it comes to the amount of driving that people are doing right now, what are some of the things that you'd advise? Again, maybe it's not about worrying about is it legal or illegal, but maybe there's some better practices we can be taking to heart.
Look, I think if you go on any long trip and somebody waves at you a couple of times, you've done a great job, because what you've done is you've been courteous to other people. My advice always to other people is drive you'd like the other drivers to drive. So that's being considerate. So you don't tailgate. That's the number one hate Kiwi drivers have, and that's people following too close. What that happens in is the person behind you can't anticipate the traffic flow, can't see the vehicle stopping in front, potentially could hit the back of your car. But really what they're doing also is just hitting the brake all the time. So they're wasting fuel. Instead of just being able to coast along and open and shut the gate as they're leaving enough space, no, they're up behind, they're putting the brake on, and every time you put your brake on, you're getting rid of that forward energy. That's costing you fuel. So that's silly.
Actually, that leads to another quick question about fuel consumption, because I've wondered, is this an urban myth? If you use your aircon, like to heat or cool your car, that you're wasting fuel. Is that true or false?
In the wintertime, it's false. Your heat comes from your motor. So that's for internal combustion. It comes from heating units. If you're electric, it's got like a heat pump system within it. Either way, once that heat is there, there's a small electric fan that's blowing the heat upon you. I'd say to people in winter, put your heater on if you're comfortable. It also demists your windows, makes your visibility better. And really, do you want to really freeze when you're off way to somebody? Again, it's a bit of distraction. A comfortable driver who's alert is a safe driver.
So then what about cooling though? Does that take fuel out of the
Cooling
engine?
a little bit in the summer, yes, it does use a little bit more, but not a significant amount, because it's just it's got to actually create a cooling system for it. It's not using the engine heat anymore. But again, no, we say at low speeds, if it's parked in the summer in the heat, the first thing I would say to people is try to park under some shade. If not, when you first hop in the car, just crack your windows. Just equalise that hot car with the ambient temperature outside, then pop on your aircon unit for a little while if you need it, get yourself comfortable and then switch it off.
Actually, you know, one thing that's genius in a hot summer, which my grandparents used to use, and I always wondered about it, and now I've started doing myself, those foil things that you put on your windscreen stops your dashboard and your steering wheel from being scaldingly hot. Very good.
Do they actually work, though, or is that a bit of a myth?
No, they work.
No, they work. Definitely they work. Also, that sun damages the interior of your car. So you're doing two things. You're keeping it cooler and you're looking after the interior of the vehicle.
Okay, well, I'd like to ask you, do you have other pet hates that you know are sort of high on the list when it comes to things that people do when driving?
Kind of things, we hate the texter because we know they're dangerous. That's another one of those distraction kind of things. Funnily enough, we don't have a lot of complaints against speedsters, but we hate the people who crawl along really slow and hold up lines of traffic and don't pull over. And we hate on the motorways the right-hand lane hogger. Now, it's not illegal to drive down the right-hand lane in a multi-lane highway or motorway, but no, think about it. The number one rule, the basic rule of driving in New Zealand is keep left. So once you've overtaken, keep left, let the other people pass you. You're doing your speed anyway, so it doesn't really matter if somebody's driven past you. The amount of times I've seen people try to chase or move and they get a small amount of, couple of cars ahead for all the effort and aggravation it causes people. It's really not worth it.
Yeah, you notice how much people are like, say, chopping and changing between lanes. It often tickles me when I see a car that's done that maybe 3 or 4 times and I'm on my way somewhere. And then eventually you get to the headlight, the traffic light somewhere and you go, I recognize that car.
Yeah.
That was the one that changed lanes in front of me about 4 times in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, look, really, driving's a bit like a life school. If you don't annoy or upset other people, they're happy, you're happy. What we tend to think, things like those at the end of the zip line where the person wants to sneak in that one extra one instead of zipping. No, kind of running a red light because they think, well, I've just got to get there quicker than the other person. Cutting people off, hogging the lane. All those are really just kind of etiquette and courtesy things.
And
if we get those
too,
right?
Because,
we'd be a lot better place to drive on.
Terry, one of the things that I find quite frustrating, if I'm completely honest, is a lack of indication. You know, someone is slowing down, you're not really sure whether they're pulling over, looking for a park, what they're doing, then all of a sudden they turn, or they change lanes on a motorway by flicking on and off with the indicator. Is that up there on the list?
Yeah, it is, particularly at roundabouts. It turns out we're not very good at roundabouts. And
really?
For the listeners out there, when you're approaching a multiple exit roundabout, and unless you're taking the very first one on the left, in which case you indicate with the left, you put your right indicator on, meaning you're going to go around. Then as you approach your exit road, put your left indicator on. It does two things. It lets the other person see you, particularly when they see you changing from right to left. They know you made a conscious move, and so any doubt about you going down that road disappears, and they can start entering the roundabout sooner than waiting around uncertain whether you're going to continue going around the roundabout. That speeds up everybody's traffic flow. Little simple tricks like that means everybody just moves that little bit quicker. Everybody's not as aggravated, wondering, is he going to move it or isn't he? So that's one of those little tricks about using it. And believe me, I see it all the time. It's not a good practice over where I live particularly. I think people think indicators are optional extras.
Well, Terry, it's been great to dispel a few myths and get a few better tips from you as well this morning. Before you go, what's one more thing that we could be doing to make our driving experience better for us and better for others?
Treat others how you'd like to be treated yourself. When you go on that road and you're doing your trip and you're in a pretty chilled mood because you're in a happy place and you've been courteous to other people and they've been courteous back, you'll find that when you get to the end of that trip, it was quite a pleasurable experience.
That is wisdom right there. Treat others as you would like to be treated on the roads and beyond. Thank you so much, Terry Collins from the New Zealand Automobile Association, joining us today.
Amazing. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss the next video.
We'll see you in the next one.